Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 13th of March 1995, which is roughly a year and a half on from the end of the last part. And also the game's on pause for a reason which I'll explain in a little while. Now, there's two reasons why I've jumped forward so far in time. And the first one is game related in the sense that we've piled up a lot of construction work. You can see it on the horizon there. I'll give you an update about what's going on there in a little while. And there wasn't really a lot to do except monitor the economy and tweak it and try and keep it going. And the second reason is that 3 Division have now announced the release date of the Early Start DLC. This is going to be the 22nd of May 2025 if you're watching this in the future. That means I've now got a deadline for the completion of this series because my ideal finish date is going to be 2025, preferably the date May 2025. And that means that I've got roughly 4 weeks, maybe 5 if I stretch it, to span 30 game years. That means that each episode I've got to jump forward at least about a year. So that is the target. Whether I'm going to attain it or not is another matter. As I say, I can stretch past the end. Well, and I can, if necessary, stretch beyond the DLC release date. But I would really like to be in a position so that I can start to look at a new series from that. So that's the reason why going forward, there's going to be a slightly different format for the videos in this series. The format's going to be, I'm going to start with quite a fairly extensive update, and it's a bit of a tour of the economy just to show you where things are and what is going on, what's been going wrong. And I'll be completely upfront, quite a few things have been going wrong. This is the reason why the game's on pause, and what I'm having to resort to is actually deleting all the messages at the beginning of each session so I can keep track of what's going on. And I'm also going to have to play slowly when I'm actually recording, simply, in fact, I'll just get the game rolling, simply because there's so much going on now. It's almost like I've hit a critical mass with respect to the population of 116,000. Also, I'm getting increasing lag now with respect to what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to start with a bit of an update. Now, if you follow the series, you'll be aware that I was having a massive crime problem here. I've kind of got it back under control, but at the moment I'm still getting the occasional surge. If I kind of show you here, you can see I've still got 3-4% crime. Still got a couple of little hotspots down here, but I've slowly ground away at those. But it's still having a little bit of effect. But what I've been getting is the occasional surge, especially in the winter, I've noticed. But beyond that, this area is relatively stable. I did have a problem here with the fact that I wasn't, I was, how can you put it? I was producing lots and lots of fuel in this area. And what that did is it resulted in the bitumen running out, which then affected my chemical industry. So what I've done now is I've set up over here a little bit of an export series at surplus here, and what I've got here is I'm exporting the fuel because I've now got the connection to the border here, and at the same time what I've been doing is exporting some bricks and some prefabs, but what I wanted to do was make sure that it didn't get out of control. So what I've actually done is I've restricted the number of tankers to 4, so that means that even when the export goes, it doesn't empty the resources. And I've got 2 open stores to move the prefabs and the bricks, and also I've got 3, and you can see it's operating here. So for give an example, I've got kind of 1,500 tons in here. But because I've only given this train 3 wagons, it will only export a maximum of 210 at any one time. The reason for that is that cement is now being sent south. And I don't want to deplete these pickup areas at the moment because eventually once I've got the central distribution center, is we're going to be using trains to send, especially the prefabs, not so much the bricks, down to the central distribution area. Over this side, it's still very much a mess, and what I've got going on here is, in fact, we're probably at the right time. We're still trying to get the road system in. The rail system is coming along quite nicely, which is good, but I've made a change here with respect to the heating. What I've gone for now is large geothermal plants. The reason for that is that I've kind of got a bit of reserve about the amount of coal that I can bring in, and I did a calculation for the overall power consumption from here, and I've decided to put a coal-fired power station in, because I'm pretty sure this area, when it's up and running, especially if I build all these aluminium plants, it's going to be more than 18 megawatts. And the other thing, in fact, I'll do it while I'm here now, is I'm going to put an option here. This is going to be partly to try and speed up the process. Is I'm going to put a foreign power connection here. We can put you there. Can I flip that the other way? Yeah, I'm going to put a foreign power connection so that if necessary, we can import power to the... I say this is going to be more of a backup, because I am getting fairly kind of intermediate power surges. I thought I'd put a power transformer out here. Obviously, oh yeah, we got one over here. So we're going to have that power transformer there. We'll just put them. Actually, I'm not going to get this up because I am building the road to the border. So that is the current situation. If I move down beyond that, the only other glitch I had was I had a near miss up here. I might as well talk about it, in the sense that where am I? Here. Come on, game. Thank you. It's taking longer and longer to do the autosave as well, I've noticed. What happened was there is a truck. Where are you? Oh, you're here. I just can't. Oh, I couldn't see you. It was hidden away. This truck, or its predecessor, this is a brand new truck. It's taken a little bit of wear and tear because it was one that was parked in a depot. This actually, what would you put to describe it? This truck here, the predecessor broke down completely, and I got very close to losing my water supply in this area. So that's another thing that's going on. Now, the other thing I'm also doing up here is I'm sending trains up to pick up crops from here, and I'm shunting them all the way down to here. Now, over the last year, I've been kind of trying to push forward to get all this area finished. You can see I've got most of the tracks laid in. But I still got a few electrification bits to do here. And what I've been trying to do is build up this area so that we got our storage. This area still needs work and it's still being pushed forward. And what I'm doing is bringing those crops from the top of the map down to here, for a reason which again I'll go into in a little bit more detail in a little while. This area is now up and running. I did have a problem with the gravel. I tried to pull the gravel from another location, and what I've had to do is actually pull the gravel from this area here, because this has got a proper gravel mine, and this has got a fairly large amount, plus the fact that I'm still bringing gravel into here, or construction waste which has been turned into gravel. I did have one problem here. I want to set that to mixed waste. Mixed waste. I had to clean up some of these stores. Okay. Want to make sure my... Yeah, what happened is this one got contaminated with plastic waste, and therefore I lost one. But this one, this actual waste processing isn't working under a lot of pressure at the moment. But getting back to, so this area is getting close to being set up. But I had a real fun time here with the actual trains. Oh, it's actually done. Is this connection is done? Let me just check. Yeah, it's done now. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put you're the down line, so I want to put you that way. The reason I've done that is I don't want any more normal trains running through here just at the moment, because I've had a few I've had a few collisions here between construction trains and the normal trains running through here, which caused a few delays. As I say, I've got this area here. I've got my vehicle parking here, but we're finished, and we've got the meat locker going. But what I will be doing, still got a little bit more that still needs to be done here. In fact, I'll just do it. What I'm doing is using the Stilton rail construction office to tidy up things. Now, I was trying to push a little bit too hard, and what that resulted in was a few problems with respect to the area. Let me just see. You've got that built. You've kind of finished in this area. This area is good. So really all we got to do now is possibly tidy up this area. Actually, we need that built as well, so we can get all that connected up. Oh, so much to update. This area is still coming together. Again, I think because of collisions here. Okay, I need to bring these guys down as well into the mix. I don't know, they've still got a lot to do. Okay, well, we're going to keep working on that. Anyway, let's just get back to here. This area will get finished eventually, and as I say, and then we can start setting up the logistics center. Now, this area here had its ups and downs, is probably the polite way of saying it. If I show you the happiness, oh, it's actually rebuilt quite nicely now. I keep getting intermittent power problems, and the power was overloaded. And if I show you here, I've now got this working at near maximum capacity in the winter, because I've used up all the terminals now. I think we've got 3 major terminals and a minor terminal over here. Now, so to be able to expand this town more, I need some heating plants. And what I think I'm going to do is go geothermal here as well. I've also put in a couple of extra power surges here. We've still got blocks to come into here, but I'm a bit reluctant to push any harder. This area now with vehicle production is going quite nicely. I've actually got a train line now running down into here. And what I've got operating here now is we've got you can see here that the railway production line is going along quite nicely. They're turning out, I think we're now on creating metro trains here. Although I've got to work out a way to move these metro trains to where they've got to go. This area here is running quite well as well. These are now producing loggers. You can see I've queued up a whole load of stuff in here. And we've also got this one operating, producing refrigerated trucks. I think I've got enough refrigerated trucks now to sink a battleship. So, and one thing I am noticing is that the T? Maybe we could make a couple of road cranes. Let me just check. Road cranes. Yeah, so I think we'll knock out a couple of these as well. You can see I'm actually building up quite a selection of vehicles here. So the next thing I would like to do, oh, it's actually finished, is start thinking about maybe producing some vehicles for export. Not that we need the money, to be honest. Don't worry about the -7 million. The reason for that is if I come into the economy, is I bought a whole load of templates. So I spent 74 million on templates. It says vehicles imported, but it's actually templates. So I spent about 74 million on templates so that I've got producing a variety of vehicles now. As I say, just to give you a bit of an overview, you can see in here we've got waste trucks, we've got fuel tankers, we've got piles of covers there, refrigerated trucks, maybe too many, and we've also got some ambulances here as well, fire trucks. Now, the one thing I am noticing is the game can be, oops, what was that? Traffic jam. I've got to, apologies, I've got to be a lot more vigilant now because oh no, this is just it. Let me just see. Pollution warning, electricity pollution, fire extinguished, electricity problem. Yeah, that's just the usual one. Yeah, the problem I've got is that there's kind of, how could you call it? I'm getting some long-term breakdowns now of key vehicles, so I need to keep an eye on these messages even more and more. That's the reason why I'm trying to keep things under control. And as I say, so we got this vehicle production area going here as well. And you can see, so things are going okay, and I think upon reflection, I mean, again, just to show you, if we come to the not that this actually looks like we're paying for quite a lot of things at the moment. See, this is the one thing that's kind of getting to me a little bit, is that we've got the garbage trucks, but we're still trying to come to terms with the actual distribution, because the game doesn't seem to be able to work out exactly what it's going. So at the moment, we've got a police station. I think I've got, let me just check. Do I have? And this is very much what I'm having to do now. See, I've got 4 in storage, but the game is still buying them. And that's what makes me wonder whether you've got to move these vehicles to locations where they get picked up. Not that it makes much of a difference, as you can see, because I'm making a lot of money here. Train waiting too long. This is something I do need to be very vigilant about at the moment. Because if it's on one of the main lines, it will happen. What I've been doing is just telling them to ignore the signals. And if we just let them run, what they're doing is running in here. What I'm trying to do at the moment is get into here so that we can get the connection through to here so that we can start building the metro line here. You're running into here, which is drop-off train station. Okay, so where are we? The next thing I want to talk about is my crop rotation. Not crop rotation, sorry. Got oil coming in there because I had a little bit of a minor catastrophe. If I show you here, we come to fertility. What you'll see is that the fertility has got quite low at the moment with respect to the harvest. And the reason for that is that I started to run out of liquid fertilizer. So what I had to do, it took a little bit of fiddling around. Okay, all right. Oh, it's disappeared. No, it's not. I've got, this is this truck guy. Oh, you're 69%. Now, the other thing you can see here is the nutrient levels, because at the moment I've got quite a lot of fertilizer, but I seem to have a problem delivering it. But the real key one is liquid fertilizer. So what I had to do was, I come in here and show you here. This is actually full now. I had to squeeze another synthetic fertilizer plant on this corner here. Simply because this one wasn't keeping up with demand, and what that gave me, I think it was not the winter that's just gone, but the winter before that, which is the first winter after the end of the last part, I got a weak crop, which resulted in the fact that because the fertility dropped by 50% on all these fields, it meant that all these were running out. You see, this is already, we're only on the 31st of March. This has already run out because, of course, because the population is also increasing, consumption is also increasing. So you can see here, this is already getting down a bit low. This one's already down to 3,000 tons, but I think we've got here, still got 5,000 tons in there. And if I come to here, this is already empty again. We're only on the 31st of March, and these are already empty. And bear in mind that these were absolutely completely full at the end of the harvest cycle in December, so it's dropped down that quick. This one is nearly empty. This one's, see again, you can see this meat one is running on so this has already been fully consumed, and it's also, this one's not too bad. This thing, just see if they've got any trains already starting to deliver. Let me just have a quick look through it now. So we haven't, so the contingency hasn't been triggered yet. The problem is getting the balance so that this will supply these key production areas without filling them up with the crops that I'm importing, if that makes sense. So that's that area there. Now, if I come over, is at the moment close is okay, but if I gain, apologies for shooting across the map, and this is where a lot of my time is being spent. You see here now, this is the food production in this area. I'm going to need to try and increase the workforce a little bit here. So I might need to get some more workers in here, but the trouble's going to be is getting them to the actual what we call it, the actual factory. So I might as well do my first kind of kludgy fixy thing here, in the sense that what I want to do is I think what we will do is I want to put in, because we got a little bit of spare capacity here, so I'm going to put in a bus stop. I think we can get away with I'm not sure if I can get in a bigger bus platform. I'm having to do quite a lot of how can you put it, key surgery here. This is a one-way one. It's not going to work, is it? This one. Okay, we're just going to plug you on there. I don't want the road. Do we have, yeah, we got a terminal here. Right, we're just going to get the there. And what we're going to do is use buses to get them out here so we can get more workforce into here. Because we do have, we got this block as well. So we can get the extra workforce in here. Although we're going to have to be very careful that when we bring the workforce in, we don't overload the food distribution system. So everything is pretty finely balanced. Now, before we get down to doing some more work, I just want to talk about one more thing. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to demonstrate it. And this is a little bit of a follow-up from some work that Vimes has been doing, and a special shout out as usual to all you who take the time to post comments. And what Vimes has been talking about is unloading speeds. Now, what I did do is I did a little bit of monitoring in this area. What I've noticed is that probably the best way to move construction waste and metallic waste is to actually use hopper trucks between aggregate stores, because what I've found here is when the normal garbage disposal trains come in, and they seem to come in cycles. Now that's gravel, you're shipping out gravel. Now if we follow this guy, what you'll see, now this is a mixed waste train. Now if we go into here, he will come in here, he's bringing 220 tons of mixed waste in. You see, when With mixed waste, he unloads relatively quickly. Train waiting too long. Okay. Let me just see if I can find where that train actually is. Oh, this is what I have to watch out for. Yeah. Okay. This guy is returning. So we need to get rid of him. And this is an example of why I've had to be so vigilant. Because these trains actually are delivering into here, but they're colliding with the construction trains, and if it gets back onto the main line, then it starts to paralyze. In fact, I think what I will do, it's a little bit risky, but I think maybe it is time to kind of open up this area here, because at the moment the trains bringing the crops down from up there are having to come down to here. Oh, okay. Oh, I haven't actually done the connection. I thought I'd done the connection. Okay, it's time. There. So many things to think about. Okay, right. It's time to do those. Go down to Stilton. Yeah, I think I need to make that connection. I'll be honest, I thought I had. And again, this is another reason why I'm kind of playing relatively slowly at the moment. It's keeping up with what's going on now, because the economy is so big and there's so many moving parts now. Trying to remember what you're doing all the time is interesting, is probably the polite way of saying it. Well, put you there, put you on high priority, so we can get those built. We can get that connection done and get things going. So back to gravel and not gravel, construction waste. Just see if there's another train coming in. They seem to come in cycles. Let me just see if I can find one. Let me just see. I go up to here. Okay, we got a gravel train there. Now you see this train is loading from here. You can see it's got a very, very slow load speed, despite the fact that this is full of gravel. So it's almost like if you're loading aggregates like metallic waste or construction waste, these waste trucks are very, very inefficient. You can see how slow this is actually unloading. I mean, sat here and we're just watching it. See, it's 1 ton, 1 ton. And eventually we will get to 250 tons. And you can see, even though it says that, so it's gone past 251. Is that because the trains, I don't know how it can carry more than 250 tons, 252? As far as I know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are, let me just see. No, these are 60 tons each. So that's wrong. I'm just going to keep an eye on this guy. We're just going to tag him there while he's going, but I don't want to. And what you see here, this is an example of what I was talking about. You probably find that this is the mixed waste train in here, but it's blocked by this actual construction train here. It's going to sit here building up, building up. Right, so I'm just going to leave that there while we go and look around other places. Let me just speed this up a bit, see if I can get that going. But if I go back to here, traffic jam, yes. Do we have any? No. No thing here, so let me just check that traffic jam. Yeah, okay, you're good. what I want to do is get up to here. Keep an eye on you. Now, what I want to do in this area is pick up where I left off in the last part, if I can find the town, because we now I've put the heating plants in around here somewhere. What I want to do is kind of put the heating in first, because obviously we've got to provide some heating to this area. What I'd like to do, if possible, is we've got a kind of road coming off here. Let me just, I can't get the road between there, so what we might have to do is, no, that's horrible. Okay, we're going to use footpaths. These are very big buildings, so what we're going to have to do is put in what? I don't want that. I want one with a footpath. Can I put them on this side to begin with? Why doesn't that building have heating? That's a bit odd. Okay, let me just do this one. Or maybe this one's going to be a little bit easier. So you can see the train is now up to 263. Of course, we're going to go underground. What we're going to do is run. Just going to have to go down. This is infrastructure in the way. We're going to run. Put 2 heating pipes into there. That means this is 1600. I can't remember what the mod is for heating plant. What is the hot water for this one? What we're using is the large geothermal. Got 1200. So what we can do is then, well, still loading up. 270 now. What was it? It should stop at 300. Right. Let's come above surface. Again, I think oh no, this has got building heating back here. So I think what we might have to do is put the heat. It's horrible. Can you? It'd be really great if I could reach all those buildings. Just tuck you on this corner here, and if I can put another one just there, so the utilities are on this side of the road. So that puts 2 heating plants in there. Drop you down. And then we'll run this one out. Okay, okay, this one isn't going to play ball. Try and keep all the pipe work nice and neat. So that now means that we've got the 2 heating into here. And of course, what we got to do now is put the heating into this area. I do wonder, is this truck, so he's got reached 300 tons yet? Wow. I think we're going to keep the theme going for this one, this side as well. What are you connecting over there? Okay, you got. Oh, we could use that actually. Thank you, game. Actually, yeah, I think if we put you literally side by side like that. Now we're probably going to have to add extra heating as well. Where's the heating plant? We'll take off. We're going to need both heating plants, whether we like it or not. The other advantage by using the geothermal as well, I know it's a little bit of a cheat, but it will mean that I've been able to bring them in a little bit closer. So that puts heating in here, and while we're actually talking about heating, I want to now come down. Where are we? And do something similar to here. And again, we're going to use the large geothermal heating plant, so that we can expand this. Actually, if we just put you on the end there like that. Oops, no, it really needs to go that way around so we can get the maximum benefit from the pipework. So we've just pushed you back a bit further, maybe a little bit further like that. Actually, I think I'm gonna push the road back like that. Okay, we're a little bit too close to the... Okay, looks like the train is finally on the move. Right, we'll come back to that in a little while. So this train picked up 283 tons. But you can see it's actually delayed this train. But we still haven't really... so we got a load of mixed waste here, but we've actually cleared out all the construction waste. So we're just going to come here. Now, I'm just going to let the train run down here. Train waiting too long. I'm just going to let the train run. Ignore the signals, please. Stop messing about. Right, now if I go back down to here, you can see now we've already got one train in here. And again, if I show you here, you can see how slow it unloads. And what will happen is when this train arrives, it will come in here and then it will slow up even more because there'll be two trains loading side by side. But if I could find a train that, let me just do a bit of a patrol of the... So what I'm trying to get at, I know I've done it in a very long-winded way, but I think it's quite important that if you're going to move large amounts of construction waste, what you really do need is to use this kind of setup. And that also applies to metallic scrap. I don't know if I can find any, whether there's any pickups in this area as well. Looks like these guys aren't particularly that busy. We're going to, again, this is another reason why I'm kind of having to monitor things and do things. Trying to keep all the construction officers busy. Okay. What are you? You're an ambulance worker. Oh, you're only 66%. So hopefully you will be replaced automatically. What was I looking for? Yeah, it's up here. So you can see the pickup speed for mixed waste is quite good, but you got 145 tons of there. I'm just going to try one more location. Oh, what's going on? See, this is what catches you out. What's causing this? See, this is what I'm getting in increasing amounts now with buses and trucks and all that. And this is what you've got to keep an eye out for, because if this starts to happen, I mean, this probably could have started with a vehicle breaking down. You can see it's now clearing. So it probably did start with one of these vehicles breaking down a bit, getting in the way. And you can see it's now It's probably this one. That's the type of thing. Now, again, sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but you can see here now with the benefit of the fertilizer, you can see we're now getting up towards we're on the 21st of April and we're now up to 200%. One tip I will say is that if you're supplying liquid fertilizer, make sure you use these fuel storage to make sure that this has got plenty of capacity. You keep everything full so that you've got maximum fertility. If you're going to keep the fertility up, you can see over here the fertility isn't quite so good. But if you come in here, you'll see that we got the tractors out here spreading the fertility. So hopefully by the time we get to harvest time, these will also be 200%. Back to over here, we've now got a little bit of heating in here. What I want to do, and we've got the shopping mall in here. The next thing we're going to need to think about is our sanitation. I think I've got sanitation running off this way somewhere, I think. Let me just see. Oh, didn't I put the yes, I've got the sanitation here. I've probably got one of the longest pipelines I've done in the game. We're going to need to put a massive... I didn't put the footpath in before, but I'm going to put it in now. Just so that I can... Where can I put the... I can put the footpath to about... No, I'm not going to put the footpath there to remind me. We're going to have to get some vehicle maintenance out here as well. This train is pushing through here. That's good. Right, so we've got the shopping mall. What is this here? Why have I got cold storage there? I think this is a residual from when I was doing other things here. Right, then I suppose the next thing we need to think about is medical. Because we got, I think what because we got the heating plants. I think what I want to do is now put in the hospitals. I think what I would like to do is put this hospital here. This will cover, again, we need the density for the high population, so we're going to put that there. This one, what's this? This is Central Spire House. My instinct is that we put the hospital, say, about here, because that would probably give us the maximum amount of coverage. So I think if we slip the hospital in here. Now, one thing we are going to need is to leave plenty of space for waste collection as well. So we'll put a hospital in there. Trying to think, where could I... Well, we've got the road connections in here. We've got the shopping mall there. We could put a footpath round there. So if I put in the hospital... Actually, we put the hospital about... And we've got quite a lot of footpaths coming off of this. So I think if I put the hospital back a little bit like that, and then this one can be connected, and that means, and we've got these heat exchangers, which means we can probably run a footpath across the front like this. So I think what we're going to do for seeing this is finished, we might as well start building our footpath network. I think we're push you to there. Oops, no. And then hopefully, let's make sure we're not too close. Yeah, that will work. That will work. We can build a footpath along there, which will then connect up that. Now, the next thing we're going to need is fire coverage. We've got our utility area here. We got our hotel there. So I think what we will do is, could you argue that if we put the fire station, yeah, maybe if we can extend the coverage of the fire station by putting you out there. Now we will need to get this fire station, these fire stations operational, and then what I could do is, there's a bit of a bigger gap here, so that's probably not going to cover. We got a fire station there. I put a fire station. Actually, we could put it on this side of the road. Then, oh, we've got to be careful because we've got a road that comes in from there. Actually, I think if I put you that way round, again, I don't want to break the road because I want these guys working. That will complement that. And what we could do is put a fire station on this side as well. Actually, if you've got fire coverage there, we need fire coverage for this. So, and we may want to expand out this way. We can put some accommodation. I think we'll put this fire station here, and for once it will actually have heating, because we will put more accommodation here because, oh, this is the end station, so that is running there. Wow, let me just see, have these guys got out here and connected this up yet? Nope. Traffic jam. What on earth is going on here? Okay, we got a vehicle here. What I'm having to do with these, they're out of mechanical components. Great. This is where things can go wrong. Is anyone delivering? This is another one of the problems I've had, in the sense that, is anybody delivering mechanical components? You're delivering steel. Okay. Steel. Okay, the mechanical components are on the way. And again, this is another reason why I've had to be so vigilant, because and I'm spending more and more time managing things, because as the economy's grown and we've got more vehicles being repaired, this is causing a delay, and then of course what you get is the traffic jam caused by the fact that the truck can't repair the vehicle, and then that then knocks on, because at the moment that is where was it? Let me just see, find the message. Where is it? Last chance to buy, electricity problem. Oh no, it's actually repaired it, so it didn't need, I'll need the mechanical components. But this is quite a key pickup point, because of course this is our food production, and you can see I've been literally only playing for about what, 50 minutes, an hour. I think we're just coming up to an hour for the video, and you can see I've already accumulated 11 pages of problems. Most of it is repetition, but this is where things are going. I just want to show you. So I think what I'm going to do now is a bit of a wind-up video, just to show you. See, this is fairly stable. This one now is operating on life support, because we're now on the 29th of April. This one is still got some spare crops in it. I think we're going to do that. I think we're probably going to have a problem with alcohol fairly soon. If I built the... Alright, so we've now got this platform here. We've got workers in here. Now, the next problem, we've got one bus here, which means we can get the get the bus route set up. And what you're going to do is unload there and push you out that way. Oh, no. I need you to go there. Top tip I will say is if you're setting up bus routes, always use end stations because it seems to be the point where things can get replaced. Right. Now comes an example of other things that we can do. We've got in here, right, I need a bus. Another downside of here is where I thought I was manufacturing buses. I need to set up some open holes to move this stuff around, but okay, we've got some cranes here. Let me just see. We've got, you can see I've already filled this up with snow plows. Okay, let me just get over. I think I might have some buses over here. Let me just see. Okay, we got some buses there. Yeah, we're producing buses here. And we got one. I think we're going to need to tune out some buses. Where is the depot? It's in here somewhere. Right, we're going to need to bring you there. I think what we're going to do is... I think I've got enough loggers. So what we're going to do is get you to turn out some Icarus buses now. And as I say, what I'd like to do is set up a vehicle export industry here, but Stilton crew on this so that we can push out this area here. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we've now got a lot of metro lines here, like trains here, and what I want to do is do a test, because the one thing I haven't tested is whether these will be delivered to here. In theory, they shouldn't. Where are we? Where's Stilton? See, it says that it will be delivered, but we'll give it a go. But I can't see how this, because metro trains can't run. Nope. Aha. Yeah, it says this is the closest point. Yeah, you can't do it. What we got to do is come here. Come here. You've got to load that. And then what we're going to do is find Stilton again. Okay, we're just going to check this. Is this because you're dropping off at a depot? How many of these are you going to pick up? It's probably going to be one at a time. Oh. Wow. This could be interesting. And we are going to follow this train because he's picked up all three. I didn't really want him to pick up all three, but we've got a train that's 194 meters long. This may cause a problem. Right, what I'm going to do is follow the train, and if it develops any problems, I'll come back, and otherwise I'll come back when we're actually dropping off at the depot. So here we are, we're just arriving at the depot. It looks very much like this train is here. I don't really want you here, so what we're going to do is get rid of this route and we're going to send you back to so that you can put you into so many things to think about. there. So that gives me a whole range of things there. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. I'm just going to finish with show you what the economy is like. If we go back to last month, you can see I'm making 76 million rubles a month at the moment, which is pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is play on, but what I might do... Oops. What we got here? Okay, you're running okay. No collisions here. Just to finish off, apologies that I'm getting distracted. And that train is now kind of unlocked it, all that stuff there. And so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. And any comments, feel free to chuck it in the video description. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.